Well, Peter, the win still eludes us, but you must be happy with an improved performance today.
Well, one of the things, Lewis, over the last couple of games, prior to the last couple of weeks, we've been given the first goal away, and especially at Falkirk Stadium. Like Queenie South, we're down and out before we can get a chance to get into the game. I thought defensively we were very good today. I've got to give credit to the two centre backs who have come in. I thought McGee and Balatoni have added something to the team, and that's over the 3 games. But they're unbeaten so far this season in the Falkirk jersey, and it's one of these things where you're missing some chances, you're missing chances against Brecon last week. But I'm convinced that if we put that level of performance against other teams, other than a team who's spent a lot of money in the summer trying to build a club, we'll beat the majority of the teams in this division. The win has eluded us, and it's not something we can forget about. We have to make sure that when we play Livingston next week, we need to be ready and go in with a similar type performance and turn our chances into goals.
You changed your tactics and your lineup this week. Young Cameron Blues getting an opportunity to start in midfield. Talk us through that one.
Well, Callum's been champing at the door, but Tom Tyle got injured in training during the course of the week. He's got stitches in his shin, and it gives an opportunity to a young guy who done exceptionally well over in Sligo. He's been champing at the door, but with the midfield players like the McKees, the Kerrs, the Sibbles, and James Craigens, then in Tom Tyles it's difficult for him to get in, but we gave him a chance today and he worked very, very hard and he can be pleased with himself.
Point apiece today, was that a fair result or not?
It probably was, if I'm being 100% honest. I think both teams lacked that wee bit cutting edge in the final third. I thought Alex Harris tormented them and put some decent balls across the box, but it's getting people in on the end of them. Our final delivery, we put a couple of crosses in the first half, almost in the end of them. Sibs has got a header just over the top of the bar as well. We just need to polish up our act. But a big thing and a big positive for us today is to get a clean sheet. When's the last time we had a clean sheet? And it's important mentally for the players that they're able to stop the opposition scoring. And we did that well today against a good side. United on their day have got quality players, and as I say, have spent a lot of money in building that squad, but they didn't look any better than us.
Signs of encouragement then today?
Without doubt, there has to be. We have to take positives from it. We're obviously disappointed last week, no seeing off Brecon. We should have won that last week. Without doubt, we should have won that game against Brecon. Today we could easily have won that game as well. It's a tough league. We've said it all along. Judges at the end of the season. I know where we are, and for 75 minutes I'm told that Brecon were winning and we could have been bottom of the league. But if we play like we can and we play like today, we'll not be long in climbing that league, trust me. You
mentioned your new centre-halves there. Is it fair to say then, the way they're playing, that sort of the 3 or 4 other centre-halves we have may not get a look for a little while?
Well, the other 3 centre-halves that we do have had opportunities this year and haven't done as well as they can. I'm not trying to criticise the boys in any way, but if you're leaking goals, you have to do something about it. The goals at Dunfermline were unbelievable. The goals against Queenie South were unbelievable, and it's not the way to be honest, it's not the way that these guys have defended over the last 2 or 3 years, because they've been stalwarts for Falkirk in many ways. But Peter Grant was injured. We've had Paul Watson injured as well, and Luca too. They have to bide their time, and if they have to do well to try and oust the fact that McGee's come in, exceptional young player. He's still a young man, still learning the game. And Conrad Balatoni's experience is different class. He never lost a header today. Both, they shouldn't, but first and foremost, they never lost a header. But when you're playing against the experience of Scott McDonald and the speed of Paul McMullen up top, you have to be on your toes. And as I say, I didn't feel threatened by them 2 up top, and they're good players, but simply because I thought our centre-backs done well. I thought Muirhead and Gallagher done well as well. I've got to mention them too.
And on another day, if we had that little bit of creativity, potentially the game was there to be all 3 points come staying put.
It was there to be won. We just didn't have that wee bit in the last third, as I say. We have to keep working into that. We do work at it. We work at it regular. We have to improve. We have to improve in the top end of the pitch. And we have to make sure that any chances that come, we put them away, or final ball's got to be better into feet or whatever it may be, or into the head. So as I say, slightly frustrating, but if I'm being 100% honest, probably a draw was a fair result.
You mentioned some injuries there. Can we have a wee update, please, on Lewis Kidd, Miles Hippolyte, and Tom Tywell?
Yep, Lewis Kidd went in for a double operation in Gilmour's groin, I think it is. So he'll be missing. They say 3 or 4 weeks before he can start back training again. But you add the recovery and the time onto that, he's near a couple of months away, in my opinion. Tom Tywell will get his stitches out probably later in the week. He's got to keep them in. It was an accident in training. So he was ruled out because it went right into the bone. You know, you could almost see the bone in his shin. And who's the other one?
Miles Hippolyte.
Miles started running again, but with a tear in his quad, it's something you can't rush. You know, he's got to strike the ball, and your quad's part of, you know, the tightness in the quad has to be right, or else he'll ping it again. You know, so we're missing these players, and a lot of people forget over the course of what is the beginning of the season in many ways. You know, you've had Grant, you've 3 you've mentioned, we've had Grant out, we've had Watson out, we've had Austin out, we've had Miller out and Sibbald suspended. You know, 5 of the team that started today played against Dundee United in the last game of the playoffs. That's it. 7 of them have changed, and you look at the bench and most of the guys are normally first team players. They're out the team simply because of injury or lack of form, and we have to be more consistent. But the boys come in today, and young Bluesy, Alex, Sibby, done well.
And just finally moving on now to next week, can we get that all elusive First League win, Peter?
Well, we need to get wins. We want to get 3 points on the board, no single points. Livingston had a good result at Inverness. They're in the quarter-finals of the last 16 of the Betfred Cup as well, have knocked us out. So they're a tough team. They've had a lot of good results recently. They'll come here and sit in. The game will be changed a wee bit from today, is where they'll sit in and try and hit in the counter-attack, and we'll have lots of the ball, and that's when we need a bit of patience. We need the patience for the stands as well. But in mentioning that, I thought the Falkirk fans were very, very good today. I thought with the way that we have started, I thought they came and encouraged the players, and that's important to me, is that they encourage the players, and they tried, and you've seen the players try and give them 100% back and try to get a win for them. It didn't happen today, but I don't think it's that far away.
Peter, as always, thanks for your time.
Cheers.